So anyway, up next was our Tag Team Divas match. And boy, is this match a relief from having to talk about that segment, which is something that I never thought I would say about a Divas match. Natalya and Naomi versus Cameron and Alicia Fox. Kind of a chaotic match, but not a bad one. The end the finish is really what's worth talking about, because Naomi is one of many now female wrestlers in the WWE who have brought a submission move into their arsenal for a finisher.
Yeah. What did you call it, Ashton? Like an inverted Batista's bite? Or
No, I didn't really call it anything. It just looks like a modified version. It's like a leg-executed Batista bite, because Caitlyn used to do a leg-executed full Nelson, but she did it from behind, whereas Naomi is kind of doing that, but it's more... It's different, because it's like a halfway between a body scissors and a head scissors, but it's with her legs. So yeah, it's just, I don't even know what to call it. It's just a submission that apparently works.
I love that Naomi keeps evolving her game, though.
Yeah, I mean, she has 3 different finishers now. Now, one of them is awful. The rear view, which is just, I mean, terrible, but it exists, and it's a finisher, and it's like an impact finisher. Plus, she has the high-flying finisher with the split-legged moonsault, and now she has a freaking submission finisher.
Oh, and also, because I would almost like to think that if the rear view hasn't been downgraded to setup move, I would hope it gets close, because also she did use her variation of like a final cut a few times.
That's right, yeah, she has that too. So that's like her setup move. The rear view is like her impact out-of-nowhere finisher, which isn't really even a finisher anymore. So basically that's like her super kick. Like Shawn Michaels used to use the super kick a lot, and so much to the point that it wouldn't put people away on the first try. That's kind of what Naomi's rear view has become.
Right.
So she has that modified final cut. That's like her setup, like her freaking kill switch. The thing that takes a while to set up, but when she gets it, it's usually going to be a 3 count. She has the split-legged moonsault, which had better be a 3 count every freaking time it happens. And now she has this submission.
She just keeps evolving and refining her game, which to me shows longevity for her career, because adaptability, I think, is a very attractive trait for any performer when you're able to, just refine your moveset in any given moment. To me, I do sense a rematch between her and Cameron at SummerSlam coming with a very different result. And, if Paige does regain the championship, which I think you and I are hoping that she does, especially if she goes full-blown heel, I want Naomi to be one of the earliest contenders. If not at Night of Champions, then certainly at the first October pay-per-view, and have them get a nice program with each other, because I'm still waiting for Naomi to nab that first Divas championship, and it'll probably be a moment that I mark for, if I'm really being honest.
Do we actually know what the first October pay-per-view is?
I was going to say Hell in a Cell, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is. October 26th, Hell in a Cell. I think there's only one October pay-per-view this year. It's Hell in a Cell, and then immediately after Hell in a Cell would be Survivor Series, and that's in November.
Wow, okay. So yeah, we're moving later along.
They moved, because originally Battleground was the second October pay-per-view, and they moved that to July.
It's crazy how we're moving along, because you figure, we're going to do SummerSlam, then Night of Champions.
Yeah.
And Hell in a Cell, then December... I forget what December is, but then January is the Royal Rumble, dude.
No, dude, it's okay. So you kind of skipped around there. We have SummerSlam, then Night of Champions, then Hell in a Cell, then Survivor Series, then TLC, then Royal Rumble.
Yeah, so we're really not that far off, though. That's going to go by so quick. It's not going to be long before you and I are doing like Road to WrestleMania 31 commentary. Holy crap!
I know, right? It's crazy. We're going to be talking about Sting, Undertaker.
Hopefully, but yeah, I mean, in the context of this match, I mean, who knows what the remainder of the year is going to look like for Naomi, but I do hope it looks bright, because she's one of my favorite prospects in the Divas division, especially now that Emma's just been so severely relegated, practically non-existent, so.
Yeah. All right, so up next, we had our main event match. It wasn't the main event because it wasn't the last segment, but it was our main event match of the evening. Chris Jericho, Seth Rollins, and these guys put on a solid, I want to say like 10, maybe 12-minute clinic before getting interrupted.
Yeah, these guys did wonderful together. You know it's a great episode of Raw, because even if all the other segments were tedious and boring, and don't get me wrong, we would have tore it to shreds. I mean, it had 2 really great matches in Cena, Cesaro, and Jericho.
And they were bookend matches, too. This whole show felt like a mirrored reflection of itself, because we started with a promo and then a match, and then we ended with a match and then a promo. And the matches that started and ended the show were both phenomenal, and the promos that started and ended the show were both really, really good for the people that were doing them.
Exactly. Great point there. I didn't even think about that. That's an excellent point. But yeah, Jericho and Rollins had amazing chemistry. I would like to see a rematch between these two. At some point, maybe we'll even get, well, actually, no, we know we're not going to get it on SmackDown, and I'll mention that in a few minutes. But, these guys traded some great back and forth spots with each other. Rollins got the buckle bomb on Jericho at one point. He sold it like a champ. That looked phenomenal. One of my favorite spots in this match, though, Jericho tried going for the walls at Jericho. Rollins hung onto the ropes, so then Jericho tried to, slingshot him, on his back, but Rollins lands on his feet and he nails the Pele kick. Just beautiful. These guys really tore the house down with the time they were given.
Yeah, they were great. The whole spot with Jericho whipping Rollins up off the ropes, Rollins landing on his feet and then hitting the Enziguri on Jericho, that I feel like I've seen Rollins do that before.
He's done that multiple times, which is why I got excited for it, because it's been a while since we've seen it.
Yeah.
That's why I popped for it, because that's it. That's usually been his setup to the Pele kick, more often than not. So it was great to see him bring it back. And then I think, wasn't it a code breaker in midair before we got the interruption we did?
Wait, what was that?
Wasn't it a code breaker in midair before we got the interruption that we did?
Yeah! He hit a code breaker while Rollins was doing a springboard move. Well, not while, but you get the idea. Rollins goes for a springboard move, Jericho catches him with the code breaker, and then Jericho's kind of rolling around trying to get his wits about him, and then we get the Wyatt family jump scare, and they are in the ring. They beat the living crap out of Chris Jericho, and Wyatt gets down on his knees and yells, "Follow the buzzards," while one lonely fan, who's most likely going home alone tonight because he makes horrible decisions, was chanting, "You can't wrestle," at Bray Wyatt.
The flack he's been getting lately, even if it's from a very vocal minority, is troublesome to me. I hope this doesn't start something that can't be regressed and fixed. I really do, because this is one of my favorite gimmicks to come along in a long time, and that's a sentiment shared not only by me and several other fans, but certain WWE Hall of Famers. So let's hope that this doesn't, nothing bad really comes from the negative reactions he's been receiving lately. And I'm not even talking negative, just like booing a heel just to be a part of the program. I'm just trying to make yourself the show.
Boring chants, what chants? You can't wrestle. Yeah, it's bad stuff.
Yeah, it is. But, yeah, Bray nails Sister Abigail to Jericho. It was a pretty simple and effective beatdown. Nothing really to say here, which is why now I can announce that because of that beatdown, this coming Friday on SmackDown, it is announced that Chris Jericho will take on Eric Rowan. I guess it makes sense as he's already had his crack at Luke Harper, but I could just watch Luke Harper singles matches all day.
Right.
So, it's whatever. But let's see what Eric Rowan can do. Jericho, I think, is the type of guy that can bring out the best in his opponents at certain times. So I'll keep an open mind to this match. But now